All right, today, page 45. Reminder, we're going to take a quiz after lesson 7, so make sure anything that is not up to date in your book, you get that by Monday. That will be your last quiz before Christmas break, and we're looking at a test probably the Thursday before we are out for a couple weeks. So however far we get, that's what our test will be on. If we get through 12 lessons, our test will be through 12. Okay, we're not going to test on things we haven't talked about. 2 full weeks and tomorrow, not counting today. Yes. All right. 6.1, increasing and decreasing. It says let's use percentages. So we've talked fractions, we've talked decimals. Today we're going to talk percents. Okay? Let's say you drink 100 ounces of water, just for a nice number. Tomorrow I need to drink 50% more than that. I drink 150, right? That's pretty much what we did on the warm-up today, except it was a fraction. Okay, more. You add it to 100. So it says here are the 3 scores from the football team, basketball team, and football team, or baseball, excuse me. I'd like you to write down one thing you notice off of that chart and one thing you wonder. And I would also like you to answer number 2. In your opinion, which team improved the most and why? So I'd like you to answer everything on that first page, and then we will discuss it. Reed, one thing you notice.
I noticed that in the second game, all of the scores have gone up by 8.
All the scores went up by 8. That's certainly something to notice. One thing you notice.
Basketball team doesn't play good enough opponents.
Yeah. Or they got some scorers on the team. I always told my basketball team you need some makers, not just shooters. So to score 100 and 108, it's pretty good. Yes, they're all sports teams. Yeah, they were talking about total points in the games. One thing you wonder, who wants to share that? Go ahead.
Why does the basketball team have so many points?
Why did they score so many points? Was there anybody even playing defense? Rylan?
Who did they play?
Who did they play? Something to wonder? One more? Brody?
Why basketball, that's all.
Everybody's certainly concentrating on that basketball score. Number 2, Kinley. Which team improved the most and why? And we'll see if you guys agree with Kinley.
The baseball team, because they scored 8 more runs, which, in a game, which is a lot in baseball.
Okay. What if I said, well, they all scored 8 more, so they all improved the most?
Okay, so in basketball, we only have to make 4 baskets, and then the football team, they could have just had a touchdown with 2-point conversion.
So you're saying it's harder to score 8 runs in baseball. It's more work
Yes.
than it is in football and basketball. Okay. Jonas.
I think it's the baseball team because they tripled their original score.
Yeah, there's the key. Hey, your argument is not wrong. But they tripled their score. If you triple this score, they're nowhere near that. If you triple this score, they're nowhere near that. So I think everybody views the baseball team as being correct again. You just need to explain why. Defend your answer.
The
Question 2, Rylan, would you read it, please?
More cereal and a discounted shirt. A cereal box says that now contains 20% more. Originally, it came with 18.5 ounces of cereal. How much cereal does each box come with now?
All right, so you've seen boxes that say 20% more or whatever the case on it. Cereal's really good at that. Is it going to have more or less than 18.5? Better have more. Hopefully. How do I figure that out? Well, it's 20%, so I need to make 20% into a decimal. 0.2, right? 20% into a decimal is 0.2. So I'm going to take 18.5 times 0.2. Why don't you do that and see what you get? Make sure your decimal's in the right spot. Boston? 3.7. Does that mean my cereal has 3.7 ounces in it? You have to add it. That's how much more cereal we get. So 18.5 plus 3.7 is 22.2. Got a label? Ounces of cereal. All right, I'm going to leave you try number 2. Notice it's lowering the price now. So it should be cheaper. Okay, go ahead. See if you can do number 2. Anybody else multiply it again when you really didn't have to? Anybody else notice it was the same numbers? Kinley?
What again?
Kaylee, got it? $14.80. Anybody confirm that?
$14. I got $14.50.
I think it's 80. Looking at, unless I did something wrong here.
I got $9.25.
That is way wrong. You did half price.
It's okay, remember, that's what I got.
All right, question 3.
I think you're right.
Lorna Drew, please.
Match each situation to a diagram because compared with the last year's strawberry harvest, this year's strawberry harvest is a 25% increase.
All right, so on the next page, gives us these 2 diagrams. Shows this year, last year. So we have to decide if it's A or B. Rylan?
I went to a strawberry patch.
Awesome. So we'll let you answer this one then, Rylan. You have inside information. So compared to last year's strawberry harvest, this year it's a 25% increase. Which one of these 2 diagrams do you think that represents, Rylan?
Oh. A.
Why?
Because it's like last year it says 100%, and then it's like the same, and then it has like a little blue thing.
Yeah, it shows it's more, right? It shows it's more. So A is correct. Again, be ready to defend your answer. Go ahead and answer B, C, and D there. Just match it and be ready to describe it. Connor, you got B done? What do you got? B is correct. So it's a decrease. C. Brody? B. Correct. And D. Read. What? I see what you did there, Reed. A. It's an increase. Number 2, draw a diagram. So just like they have here, we're going to draw now. We're going to do the opposite. And we need to draw the diagram. For this case, the number of ducks living at the pond increased by 40%. Okay.
We sold our ducks yesterday.
Dang, waterfowl.
So draw a rectangle. We're going to kind of combine it and just do kind of one box like we did yesterday. And we're going to label that the original number of ducks. Okay, the new number of ducks now, is there going to be bigger than that or less? Bigger. And now 40%, so kind of keep it proportional. 50% would be half, so the box should be a little less than half as big. Add it on to here. And what am I going to label that? Current ducks? New ducks? This would be 40%. I guess this would be the new ducks. All right, I want to see if you can do letter B. That's always a positive one. Number of mosquitoes decreased by 80%. So if it's decreasing by 80, how much is left? So there's only 20% left. Remaining mosquitoes. I guess technically you could say 80% died off, however you need to phrase that. Are you ready?
No.
Yeah, you are. Jonas is going to read it for us.
What could it mean to say there is a 100% decrease in quantity? Give an example of quantity where this makes sense.
All right, so can there be a 100% decrease?
Yes.
Give me an example.
My grade.
Your grade could go from 100% to 0. Yes. Unfortunately, that would be a bad example. Read.
McDonald's when they get rid of the McRib for the 8th time.
Yep. 0 or 100% decrease. Yep.
When an animal dies, it becomes extinct.
Yes.
Yikes.
0% chance of seeing that animal. All right, so just know that there can be a 100% decrease or increase. All right, number 4, final question. Raise your hand if you have an opinion on the following. Agree or disagree and explain why. Employee A gets a raise of 50%. Employee B gets a raise of 45%. The statement, this is what you agree or disagree with. Employee A gets the bigger pay raise.
Well, when do they get paid in the first place?
Cameron, would you like to state your opinion on that if you agree or disagree?
I don't know what they get paid in the first place.
It doesn't tell you.
They get paid the same when employee A gets a bigger raise.
That's a great point. If they make the same, they start at the same amount, that's going to be true. So if you answer true there, You have to say, I agree, if they make the same amount, which is fine. But we have no idea what they make. If employee A makes $4 an hour and employee B makes $20 an hour, this one's going to get a bigger raise. Okay, so either way, you have to again defend your answer. Yes.
Can I just say other?
No.
Can I just say agree
No.
to disagree?
Nope. You got to be able to say why.
Other.
Mr. Maverick.
All right, example 2. Maverick's going to read that one for us.
Shirts are on sale for 20% off. You buy 2 of them as you pay the cashier. As you pay, the cashier says 20% off of each shirt, meaning 30% off the whole price.
All right, so you want to know a way to disappoint your math teacher, work as a cashier. Somebody brings up a shirt that's 20% off, and you say, all right, 20% off. And then they give you another shirt, and they say, well, that's 40% off. Okay, well, if that's the case, I'm going to go get 5 shirts because you're going to give them to me for free. Right? 100% off. No, you don't add the percentages. 2 shirts at 20% off does not mean it's 40% off. Okay?
That's how life is. Yeah, I'll take a bunch of free shirts.
All right, again, summary on the bottom. Page 48. Couple terms of percent increase or decrease. I think we have it down. Question number 1 on the homework, page 50. Determine the percent increase or decrease. So yesterday we did decimals. Day before we did fractions. Now it's talking about what percent of increase or decrease is there. Again, remember it's always based on the number of x's you start with. That's your denominator if you want a fraction. So percent increase or decrease for A and B. Number 2, draw a diagram. Number 3, write each percent increase or decrease as a percent of the initial. First one is done for you. Okay, this year there's 40% more. So that's a 40% increase. Okay, so if I have a 40% increase, how does it react from the original? It's 40 plus 100. What's 40 plus 100?
140.
Okay, so the amount of snow this year is 140% increase. Okay, so that one is done. Don't write anything there. So if it says increase, you add to 100. Decrease, you would subtract from 100. You're just writing a statement. B, C, and D, you'll do that for on top of the next page. Number 4, find 3 more points that are on the line. Gives you 1 point right here, 1 in pi. Remember, no adding or subtracting, you're only multiplying. That should help you find some points there on that line. Find at least 3 more. Please draw an arrow on the bottom of the page, because there is a question 5 on the next page as well. Okay, underline the word or circle the word all. All that apply there for number 5. So 5 questions on those 3 pages.